Welcome to another Ask Us Anything, and it is September, I always forget the date, I think it's the 21st of 2018. Holy cow, where is this year going, huh?
It's going.
It is going really fast. I better turn off my mail so we don't have the mail telling us that we're getting mail. There we go, so that's quiet. Thank you so much. Hey, look at that. We've got Stacy saying, let's put Stacy up here where we can all read her. We love your beautiful fall picture. Where is this located? It almost looks like Lake in the Clouds in our beautiful state of Michigan. That's a good guess. That is a very good guess. But let's see. Should we tell them where that is?
Tell them.
It's Algonquin Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada. And the reason we're showing that is because we'll have a special video on Algonquin Provincial Park on our right here on our RV Lifestyle channel on Thursday. And boy, that's a beautiful park. You know, I think anywhere else in North America, if it was in the States, that would be a national park. But it's a provincial park there. And, of course, look at it. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous fall colors. This is peak fall season. And this is the time to go camping. What are you doing, petting Bo?
Petting Bo. Bo is coming.
Bo is here.
Bo is saying it's walk time, Dad.
Bo is ready to go for a walk. He hasn't gone any place.
You want to go for a walk, don't you?
So that's good. Boy, lots of you checking in. Let's do a quick check and show you where everybody is today. We've got, let's see, Plover, Wisconsin. We've got Joe in Florida. We got Juan in Puerto Rico. We have... let's see. Somebody says it's October, not September.
Did you say September?
I don't know what they're talking about. Did I say September? Probably did.
Must have. Hello, Bo.
Yep, it's October. Thank you. It all just has been a blur to me. And let's see. John is in Georgia, and we've got another Florida. We got Mike. We've got Rhonda in North Carolina. And Juan from Puerto Rico is a new subscriber. Thank you, Juan. We're glad that you're with us. Carol's from San Jose, California, and Brian from New York. Karen's from Austin, Texas, and one more. We got Lillian from Tucson. So thank you all. So we want to just start off with that picture by telling you this is the weekend. This coming weekend is peak color. I did a quick check today across almost all the northern states.
All right.
And most of the Midwestern states. This weekend, next weekend, peak color. And you want to hope there's not a huge windstorm because those leaves could be dropping. But this is peak color. It's also getting cold. If you're camping, you're gonna need that heater on. I want to give this a special promo as well on Wednesday on our podcast, and also hear the video version of it. We will have a whole big story on. What are we calling it? Winterizing your RV, getting your RV ready for winter. So that's all coming up, and we're looking pretty forward to that. So that's neat. Let's see. Lillian says, hey, from Tucson, I saw you on our local news reporting about technology. Explain that to them. Yeah.
Well, you worked at an NBC station in the Detroit area for 18 and a half years, and you started doing a technology segment that 24 years ago, 25 years ago?
In 1994 for the local NBC in Detroit. I started doing a thing. They started calling me PC Mike. And lo and behold, the network, NBC, picked it up. And so to this day, I still do a PC Mike segment on technology and mostly apps that goes out to every NBC station in the country. So that's where you saw me, Lillian.
You can't get away from them.
I don't know what station that is. Is that KGUN, KGUN? Is that NBC? I don't know. That's one of the stations I know in Tucson. So we appreciate it. Well, Bo is right down here with me.
Yeah,
hey,
Bo is saying it's his time.
He wants to go for a walk. So anyway, Tom is saying hi from Panama Beach in Florida. And Tom, I wonder how you're doing, how you did with Hurricane Michael. I had an email today from one of our regular watchers of this program, and also a listener of our podcast, and he was very surprised that we didn't talk on the podcast or here about our condo in Florida and how it fared during the storm. And we did on social media, all up on our Facebook pages. We we're very fortunate.
Very fortunate. The water, there's sand dunes, and the water didn't even get up to the sand dunes.
No.
And we didn't have any kind of surge. As far as I know, everything was fine. We know 3 women that stayed in our building, which I don't think was a good idea when you're told to evacuate to stay. I don't think that's ever a good idea. I think you should leave because you don't want to create a situation.
But yeah, the bottom line was it was 70 miles to the east of us, and we had very little. I think there was a little bit of wind damage in and around the area, but nothing by our condo. So
I'm not even sure they closed the bridges.
No, they were going to close the bridges, but they didn't. Joe says hi to Bo. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Bo's.
Yeah, we've got Wake Forest, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Avon Park, Florida, Santa Barbara, California, and Butler, Pennsylvania, along with Aurora, Colorado. I always like to let you people know we see you and give you a little shout out there. And there's Diane asking about our Florida condo, so I'm glad we answered that one.
You know, because we've traveled and driven all across this country, all the states, all these cities, they just have a warm spot in my heart because you think about these different states and the nice people that you've met and the nice times that you've had there. I feel connected. I really feel like this is my country.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's not just my state or my city. It's you really feel attached to the whole country.
Last week we shared with you here, we had just come back we were still in Kansas last week.
Right.
And we woke up the next day to snow on the ground. So we had so much fun in Kansas. It's a state everybody drives through on the way to or for. Listen, it's worth a long time stay by yourself. We stayed on a cattle ranch. I hope you look on the channel here. We've got a video. It's one of the most fun videos I've edited. And I hope more people will watch it. It's right here. So after this, go over and watch our Kansas video and give it a thumbs up.
And we were kind of discouraged from going because they had 9 inches of rain the
week before.
The week before, and even the owners were saying, it's supposed to rain the whole time you're here, and we lucked out. Thursday, Friday, gorgeous. Saturday, didn't rain till Sunday.
We got to ride some horses and look at the tall grass prairie. Anyway, you can please look at that video if you haven't seen it. It's one of the favorite.
And
ones
I'm so glad
done.
that we went because we were kind of being told, the weather.
Yep. All right, let's get to some of your questions. Judy wants to know, when is your next trip? Judy, I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
Should we tell them we're kind of homeless right now?
Yeah, we're RV-less.
We're RV-less. Yeah. Otherwise, we would probably be in northern Michigan.
We'd be up enjoying all that color up in northern Michigan if we had an RV this weekend. We'd be coming to you from
probably
somewhere
Vanderbilt.
Up there.
Probably Vanderbilt.
Yeah, we like a little place. This is Michigan, a little geography lesson. That's the Upper Peninsula, right? It's actually not quite that big, but it's shaped like that. And Vanderbilt is right about there, towards the tip of the mitt. And that's where all the elk are. It's a gorgeous state forest, Pigeon River State Forest. And that's where we would be if we had an RV. Next week, we would be on our way to Florida to a gathering that we're having with some folks. We're in Pogo is putting on a gathering, our friend Pogo, at Walt Disney World. But if we don't have an RV by the end of next week,
we'll be home.
We'll be home. We'll be staying back here. So we're not.
And that's not all bad. However it works out is fine.
Yeah, we've been home since last
We've been
Monday.
home for a week.
and it's like we're on vacation at our Sticks and Bricks home. We've been gone so much. It's like we're on vacation.
But I'm going to end your vacation because there's some things around here that got to get done.
The honey-do list?
Uh-huh.
Oh, dear. Honey-do doesn't do very well. But, oh, well, that's not, that will be fun. That's good. Lots more of you checking in. Juan, our friend from Puerto Rico, our new subscriber, says, everybody give a thumbs up. All we YouTubers say that. And I wonder if YouTube kind of, they have this mysterious algorithm in which they show to promote certain videos. And it has to do with 3 things, really. One is when people like it and give it a thumbs up. They see a lot of thumbs up on a video. They like that channel. Number 2 is the number of subscribers. If people have subscribed and if it's growing, we're about almost 55,000. Another couple hundred, 400 will be 55,000, and that's really great. From 9,000 a little over a year ago all the way up. But if you haven't subscribed, please do so. You can do so right down there. There's a little subscribe button. So they look at thumbs up, they look at subscribers, and then they look at time watched, how much time people watch. So if it's like a 4-minute video and people only watch it for 10 seconds, then they say, oh, that's not very popular. So anyway, watch our videos, give us the thumbs up, and please subscribe. That's
and I should say that we weren't home all this past week because we went to the other side of the state of Michigan. We went over to Lake Michigan side and spent the night. We were babysitting for our grandkids. So that was fun.
Yep. Hi from Western Canada, our friends up there. Norm from Missouri. And K-Gun is ABC. Okay, Lillian, I don't remember what the NBC affiliate is there, but I had some friends who worked at K-Gun, so that's where I remember that. And Bo is in another Bo, not our dog, spelled like Sweetheart Bo, from Raleigh, North Carolina, Port Rowan, Canada. And Cajun Jameis says, "Hey Bo, let's go walking with Mike and Jen." Well, we're going to do that pretty quick, so we will.
When we get done here, we'll take Bo for a nice walk.
Yep. Here's a question from Joe. He says, "How do you handle medical emergencies while boondocking?" Well, we haven't had any. We carry a first aid kit. We have a cell phone with a cell phone booster. And I am a amateur radio operator, K8ZRH. I should show you across the way here my radio station sometime, all my transmitters. And I have always have two-way radio capabilities, so and antennas and all that. So if I had to, we could get out.
Are we going to get a satellite phone?
Yeah, we had. I wonder if any of you watching here have a satellite phone. And tell me if you want me to get one. That would be my excuse. Satellite phones, I don't know, we had that in one of our interviews a couple of weeks ago with a woman who likes to boondock in the desert. And she went on and on to say how much she relies and has comfort in having a satellite phone.
Now, she had two of them.
She had two of them. One's a backup.
$1,000.
They cost as much as an iPhone. That's what an iPhone costs. So I am really thinking about getting one. They're about $1,000. So I'd have to spend that, but it's.
I mean, you got to sell more books. No,
I got to sell more books. Yeah, I'm not. I promise you, I wasn't going to sell any books. I'm not selling any books unless you guys ask about it.
No.
Okay. No, I won't even tell you that.
Stop it. I shouldn't have started that.
She started it. But it's about $1,000, so it's a lot of money. That's bad enough, but then you have to pay. I think she said it's $60 a month.
And you don't use it. It's just for an emergency.
You don't use it, but you have that peace of mind. Now, we prefer boondocking, and that's the book we're talking about. We did a book on how everybody can go out and boondock, and I think that's the context of the question. So if you think I should get one and do a review on it, I'll do it. What?
You're trying to get your...
Well, you started it. You said tell them about the satellite. So.
I know. Bo is ripping something apart in there. There's all kinds of crunching noises going on. He has a lot of energy.
But, Joe, it's
kind of like Mom and Dad are busy. I'm going to go destroy something.
I think he's chewing on an empty bottle of some sort.
There's a lot of noise going on out there.
So, Joe, as to medical emergencies, first aid kit, always know where you are, always know how to get out, always make sure you have some communications.
The little whiteboard where you write down where you are so that you have an emergency, you're not scrambling.
Yeah,
the stress of trying to remember where you are. We
have a little whiteboard that we put in our RV, and I think it's up. It shows up in one of our videos here somewhere here in the channel, and it's just one of I think it was $1.50 at an Ace hardware store, and I just put some Velcro on it on our refrigerator, and we always write what space we're in, if we're in a campground, and if we're boondocking,
space number,
the nearest road, or the plat number, or the GPS coordinates or whatever I need, so that if I had an emergency, I could say, hey, we're at this GPS coordinate. So, and that's written down in an emergency, how do I find that? I got to put on the GPS, or I've got to do whatever. So that's how we do it. And now I'm thinking about whether you guys want me to go get a sat phone.
And this goes to another safety point. The driver's seat. Don't load it up with a whole bunch of things.
Oh,
Keep the driver's seat open so that if you had an emergency, you can rip down your little privacy curtain, turn on that key, and take off. You don't want to waste time moving stuff.
That is really, really a good idea for any time you're camping. Suppose you're in a campground and maybe you get some really bad neighbors, or you feel unsafe and you want to leave quick. It's a matter of just getting up, turning the key, and taking off. But if you got a lot of stuff piled on that seat, then
and I'm capable of putting a lot of stuff on that seat because with the dog, his dog food and his bag, the bow bag, and
now,
a lot of things you can put up there.
Depending on what RV we're going to next get, I'm going to put in, I think it's called a lagoon table, and I'm going to get my friend Les Chanteau down in Florida to help me install it. And I'm going to install that, and then I'm going to flip the driver's seat around, and I'm going to use that as my office.
Great.
So, but it depends on what kind of an RV we get, if we get one, and when. Meantime, we're on vacation, so it's good. Richard says, what's that background picture, special place? And we mentioned at the beginning, it is Algonquin Provincial Park.
Here comes Mr. Bow.
It's Algonquin Provincial Park in Ontario, and I just saw that picture and I said, wow, it is gorgeous. It's a beautiful park. I have a video on Algonquin that'll be coming out Thursday right here on the YouTube channel, so check that out.
You good boy. Yeah, good boy.
Why didn't you go to Nomad Fest? The one where they showed the movie last week. It just didn't. We'd been traveling so much, Jim. We just got back. I mean, we have been on a tear. And we are without an RV for one thing.
We don't have an RV.
We don't have an RV. So
I guess
we're
we could
between
take a
RVs.
tent. Even our tent rotted out. We don't have a tent right now. We are really homeless.
Yeah.
We had a tent before we had a motorhome.
So so we didn't go, but I'd like to have gone. That would have been fun to have hung out with everybody. But we you can only go to so many things, and sometimes the things we want to go to, like. If we had our way right now, we would leave the end of this coming week for Florida. We'd stop by, watch our grandson play some football Friday night, and then we've got this gathering that our friend Pogo's doing at Disney World. From there, we wanted to do a meet and greet in Gainesville, Florida, and I should bring up my calendar and give you this is all going to happen if we do get an RV, and that would be. Well, I can't.
Do you have clearance for this? Have you talked to
I think it would be on the.
But don't give people dates because we don't have an RV.
Well, okay. So
Just
that's
wait.
what we were going to do.
It might happen.
Yeah, around the 8th, if we get on. Yeah, and then from there we were going to go to the Overlander gathering in North Carolina. We went to that last year. It was a ball. It was amazing.
Is that the Biltmore?
Was that the Biltmore?
It's
not
on
the
my bucket
Biltmore
list.
this year.
I know.
So we're going to do that. And so we have a lot of stuff we need to go to. And we just came back from California, then Kansas, then Elkhart, Indiana, and so it's been crazy. So that's why we didn't go, Jim. And
it's okay to be home.
And there's just we didn't have an RV, and we can't be essentially two places at the same time. So that's good. Mike asked, do you know the dates for a meet and greet in Tampa? Well, if you look at and I can't pull up my calendar right now, but if you look in January 2019, Mike, and look for the RV Super Show in Tampa, we will do a meet and greet on the Saturday.
Third weekend.
On the Saturday, I think it's you think it's the third weekend of January? On that Saturday, we'll do a meet and greet at the Tampa show. So we'll give you the details.
Because we always miss the Tampa show because we're always up at Tequamatum Falls.
But we're going to that the week before.
We're going to try.
That's our winter camp out that we do. I
hope we have snow.
Well, yeah, we're doing that. And there's places, I think I put a link in the community tab here. Scroll down about our winter camp out that we do in January. There's still some openings. If you've never camped in the winter, you're missing a lot of fun.
And I hope there's snow.
Yeah,
hope it's not the January
usually there's like 2.5 feet of snow.
Yeah, usually there's 2.5 to 3 feet of snow.
And it is fun.
And we're doing it a week earlier. Normally.
Yeah. So hopefully they've already had snow up there. So I think
Good.
I think we'll see it. That's actually Stacy talking about that. Are you going to Tequamatum Falls in January? Yes, we are.
The second weekend.
Stacy, the second weekend of January. Go to the community tab here at our RV Lifestyle channel and scroll down. I put a link to, you make your own reservations with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, and then you let me know. We have a YouTube group. We've got a Facebook group that we've set up just for that event, and I can get you in that as well, and you can meet everybody else. Gary missed our conversation at the top of the program about how our condo did with the hurricane.
It was fine.
It was fine. It was 70 miles to our east, Gary.
So we were very, very fortunate.
Yep, so we missed
very
that.
Fortunate.
Have you guys had any chance to ride your new e-bikes? Well, they're not so new anymore. We've had them since January. Yeah, we ride it a lot, and if we go to Florida and all around, I think we'll probably be taking them there as well. So we'll see what happens. Are we getting the 2019 Mercedes chassis? I don't think so. I don't know really what or I don't know what we're getting, or even if. So we're kind of between RVs. I wish I could say more, but don't know. We don't know, right?
We don't know.
Yeah. Rhonda says, Kansas is one of only 5 states I haven't visited yet. I think you've convinced me to go. If you saw the video, Rhonda, I bet we did, because it is awesome. And the folks at that Flying W Ranch that we stayed at, that
nice people, so hospitable.
Didn't you enjoy that?
Yes.
You know, every time we go to one of our gatherings, we say, "Oh, it's the best one yet."
But that was.
I think that was the best one yet.
I enjoyed it.
And we'll kind of go. Japheth is in Kenya. Hi, Japheth Kiptu. Thank you. I don't know if you do any RVing in Kenya, but man, you've got a beautiful country once you get out of the cities. It's a little tough in the cities, but
we've been to Africa twice.
We've been to Kenya. We've enjoyed it. Up closer to home, Thals is in Flint. Hello, Thals.
We've been to Flint.
We've been to Flint, yeah.
Our daughter lived in Flint.
About 50 miles up the road.
She worked for the Flint Journal.
Sticks and Bricks. Yeah, our daughter used to work for the Flint Journal. Jim is in Pittsburgh. Elena is in the San Francisco Bay Area. Joe is in North New Hampshire. And when do you expect to get your new unit? Joe.
Don't know.
I don't know. We absolutely don't have any clue. So, if or when, I don't know. I wish I could say more. But you guys keep asking these questions. I'm going to get in trouble because I can't keep a secret. And I don't have a secret. There's nothing to share. Jennifer's neat.
I'm neat. I'm just we don't know.
We don't. Well, we don't. We're planning on getting one when we start RVing. Think of it as an additional insurance. I think Charlotte's talking about the satellite forum. Satellite, I think it makes a lot of sense. There are places in this country, and particularly when you boondock, where you don't have cell phone coverage. Or the cell phone coverage goes down, like as we just saw with Hurricane Michael. The Verizon system, I'm told, was totally down through Panama City and all the way east there.
I've always felt safe because you have your amateur radio.
Yeah, my amateur radio, I have 2 different types of amateur radio. One that goes long distance, high frequency. I can literally talk around the world with that. I can just throw up an antenna and hook it up and I'm ready to go. And then I have a UHF VHF, which works locally, you know, with repeater systems. That can be a regional coverage as well. So I always have that thing. Now, that requires a license from the Federal Communications Commission. They're not hard to get. You need to study a little bit. And it's a great hobby. I've been a ham radio operator since I was 13 years old, 12, 13 years old when I got licensed. 1962. Well, I'm giving away my age. Was it that? I don't know if that was... No, I think that wasn't the year.
You've never been good with math. Let it go.
I can't do it while I'm talking. I got to sit down. Are you going to get another Class B RV? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we will get another.
It will be a Class B. So
I like Class Bs.
Let's see. Sharon is glad to be back watching from Newton, New Jersey. All right, Sharon. Hi from...
we need to go to New Jersey.
New Jersey is a great state. You know what? Everybody thinks it's all Newark and congested, and it's not. It's the Garden State, right? Isn't that New Jersey? It's a beautiful state. Joe says, look into a personal locator beacon. Yep, we thought of those, Joe. But the problem is that's how people can find you. But if you have an emergency, it's a little more difficult to get word out to responders and stuff. So that's probably what it is. Here's another option from Richard. This is a Garmin satellite for text messages and GPS tracking. It's a lot less. Richard, that's on my list to check out as well. I'm always holding out for the satellite phone because it's cooler, but that really is a lot more affordable. So I'm going to look into that as well. Thank you for sharing that right here. And let's see. After years of going up north to look for elk, I finally found them behind the Elk Lodge in Gaylord, Michigan. Actually, you think he's being silly, but actually right behind the Elk Lodge in Gaylord, Michigan is a large park, a city park in the city of Gaylord, Michigan. Gaylord's right there. Pigeon River's up there. So it's about, 25 miles maybe.
We took our grandson there to see the elk.
And they have all
14 years ago.
So you can go up right to the fence and look at the elk. Yeah. So that's right down in downtown. That's pretty good. Diane, I met you both in Pomona. I got to say it felt like I was talking to old friends. Well, you were, Diane. Thank you. I remember meeting you. And I'm looking at your picture there, and I think that's your YouTube portrait picture. I see it right there, and that's pretty fun to connect with people. We had a ball in California. We were only there for a weekend, but it was
Here comes Mr. Bo nosing in.
Mr. Bo's right here. He's trying to figure out how he could go.
Yes, I know.
Where is your website about selling your books? Please tell us.
Do it quickly. Do it quickly.
All right.
Don't spend half an hour doing
this. I'm kind of looking. Okay, here it is. There you go. Boondocking book. Can you see that? roadtrekking.com/boondocking. Okay. Thank you, Shirley.
Said you sound like a used car salesman or something.
And if you buy tonight and tonight only. No. I mean, we're not talking about boondocking. I mean, I think that's the way to go. We are working on another book, and I'm really excited about that one, about how to buy an RV. So that's coming out pretty cool.
He's a book guy.
Yeah.
We were first married. We didn't have furniture, but we had books.
Yep, he did. Rick, hey, Mike, looking good. Let me get that book off there so I know he can accuse me of hawking my book. Looking good, skinny. Hey, I forgot to do that. I've been sharing my weight loss. If you're a regular here and with our podcast, you know that I announced that I was going to go on a healthy eating and what do we call this? I was going to lose some weight, right? And I would share how I was doing. It's basically a keto diet, leaning a little bit more paleo than pure keto. But it's a very easy one. I have no sugar cravings.
Yeah, you just don't eat. No.
I eat. Well, kind of. Anyway, I started that September 4th. We need a drum roll for Rick. Are you ready? Everybody out there, go like this on your tables. Here we go. My weight loss since September 4th. 22 pounds. I'm down 22 pounds. So, and it depends on whose scale. That's my scale. If I went with the place that I weigh in every week at the weight loss place, it's actually a custom health center is what it's called. They do online stuff, by the way. If you want to look them up, you can do it all online as well, wherever you are. But I weigh in there every 10 days, and I weighed in yesterday. And according to theirs, I'm down about 25 pounds. But I'm going with my scale, which is 22 pounds. Woo-hoo! I can tell I'm wearing like shirts and the collar buttons now. I can button that up, and my face looks a little leaner. I'm getting in clothes I haven't been able to wear, so
it's all good.
But a lot more to go. Hey, come on. So that's what we're kind of working on. John Yang, opinions on Zion. Well, the national park we love. One of our favorites. Great hiking there. The RV, we love that too. It's one of Jennifer's favorites.
I like the Zion.
Yeah. What do you like about the Zion?
I like the smaller size.
It's a little smaller.
It's a little smaller. I'm more comfortable driving something a little smaller. I think it's got everything you need.
It's got two.
I like
that center corridor.
Yeah.
That open corridor.
Yeah.
Zion has that open corridor. The Winnebago Travado has that same open corridor. It's becoming fairly trendy. The Zion was the first out with Zion and Travado came out about the same time, I think. And it's got two single beds, and I think you can make it into a king. You can have it configured as a permanent bed. It's on the ProMaster chassis from Ram. It's easily serviceable at car dealerships. Yeah, you've always liked that. Mm-hmm. We saw the very first one. And, we've been
very first one.
Yeah, and it's been
had a white interior.
Yeah. Yeah. Salvatore tells us Florida's lazy days. That's where's that? Why? How did that come up? I put that up, and you said that you must have done one before. There we go. Florida's cooling down, or at least trying to. Yeah, it is. And that red tide is still out there, though. We heard it's down by our place in Florida on the Emerald Coast.
And that'll affect me wanting to go down. I'm not going to want to go down if there's red tide.
Yeah, yeah. Cindy says, "What happened to your RV?" Nothing happened to it, Cindy. You know that.
Well, we didn't make our payment, and they came with a big flatbed truck, and they hauled it off.
Well, that's partially true. They did come with a flatbed truck, and they did.
I wonder what the
haul it
neighbors
off.
thought.
They probably thought we didn't make our payment. It was sold. You know, we use them from Road Trek where they're kind of on the road ambassadors. We have been for a number of years.
We test things.
And we test things out. So that's when we had not quite 2 years, and they sold it. And
with your blessing.
With my blessing. It was
you
my,
said,
yeah.
You said, sell it, because somebody really wanted the 4x4, and we said, we don't need
and
a 4x4.
4x4s were very hard to get.
They're very hard to get. This person wanted it, and we said, why not?
So that's all that happened to it, and now we're waiting for
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. It is. So let's see. It's really fun. Gary said, "I thought you were getting the white rig." Well, that's what we were kind of looking for, but I don't know.
We're expecting a white rig with a white interior.
Well,
but that might be a holdup. You know, I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know.
We don't know.
There's a holdup for some idea. Boy, everybody wants to know. Hey, so do we, Sharon. Hope it soon. Can't imagine not having our Class B. Yeah, you know, it does seem funny not having one out there. We drove to Kalamazoo this weekend, and we're so spoiled about being able to pull over and
take our food.
So who knows? So John says, was your Mercedes-Benz Sprinter reliable? Absolutely.
Yes. Very.
Whatever RV we get, we want it to be, I think, on the Sprinter platform. We really like the Sprinter platform. We like Mercedes-Benz. Those engines go forever. All you got to do is maintenance, and we like the room in them. It was extremely reliable. And we've had four Sprinters. The first one was a 2006 with the single wheels, and then all the rest with the dualies.
And the dualies are great. When the wind blows, you don't shake all over the road. You don't blow off the road.
Yep. It was pretty good. Bev, thank you. Let's put Bev's up there. Thank you for the Quat pivot video for the bike hitch. I bought one from REI for my Hollywood e-bike rack. That's the same e-bike rack we have, the Hollywood one from Rad Power Bikes. And the Quat, I think I pronounced it right, Quat pivot, it's a extension, maybe that big, and it allows you put the hitch in one end and the other end of that extension into the hitch mount, and then you can swing the bikes open, and thus you can open your rear doors. When we get a new RV, I'm going to pick up one of those as well, and I think that's where I'm going to buy mine. Is at REI as well. I think that's great. So thank you, Bev, for letting us know. That's good. Lillian, I think a satellite phone is way too expensive. If you two have health issues that would require emergency evacuation, then it'd be a good idea for boondocking. Yeah, we don't have health issues, and there are other options. And the Garmin text message is pretty good. So everybody's worried. Where can I find out what happened to your RV? Okay, I hope you heard that, Deborah. We just answered that a minute ago. Is it scary to RV in Alaska alone as a couple? I've never been there. No, it isn't, Lon. There are these tours like Passport America that you have to pay $5,000 to go on a caravan. Ooh. It's very expensive. Is it worth it? Well, we have been to Alaska twice, not on an RV tour. First of all, you don't have to be any more frightened about boondocking in Alaska than you do anywhere else. In fact, it's probably a little easier because you can just pull right off the road. I mean, there's lots of places all along, right off the road. So there's traffic, but you can get help, but it's very easy. I'm not a big fan of these big multi-vehicle caravans. It's too complicated. There's too many people involved. You got to wait. I don't do real well waiting.
No, you're very impatient.
With crowds.
And we're spoiled because you've been a journalist where you've had access to things where you didn't have to wait. Like we have done work in Jerusalem where we had a private driver that took us from A, B, and C. It's not like we were on a bus tour with 40, 50 people on a bus. We've been spoiled.
Yeah, we really have. So we're
not afraid to be alone.
We like being alone. So I would just caution you. Now, if you're a group people, you might like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of money. They do all the planning. There's not a lot of room to be spontaneous. Now, there's all different kinds of tours and stuff, but do a lot of research. There's a lot of great stuff online. We've got a podcast episode we did a while back on how to plan a trip to Alaska. I think it's going to be linked to in tomorrow's newsletter, as a matter of fact, Juan. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, go to roadtrekking.com, and there's a place you could subscribe, and we have a link to a story on it.
If our dog were capable, he would unplug this.
He would. He is bugging us like crazy. If you see us moving, looking
really
down.
He's really antsy.
He does this every Sunday night, though. It's
his time.
You should get used to it. Hi, Mike and Jen. It was great meeting you today. Larry in Georgia. We met Larry in Georgia at church.
Yes.
And Larry in Georgia, it was great to meet you guys, too. It was really fun to find somebody who follows us on YouTube, and it was really great to get recognized by you guys there. It was fun. All right, wander us down. Mercedes versus Ford or Chevy. Can they be serviced anywhere, or is Mercedes more expensive? Yeah, it is. It is more expensive.
And it can't be serviced everywhere.
It can't be, no. So, we've never had a problem getting it serviced, and we've taken it to Mercedes dealers or Sprinters around the country. But yeah, the bottom line is it is more expensive. Ford or Chevy, much cheaper. Dodge, on the Ram ProMaster chassis, much cheaper because you got Dodge dealers and Chrysler dealers and Chevy dealers and Ford dealers. So if that is a major factor in your decision, then you probably don't want to do a Mercedes.
And then you have to get the diesel gas.
And you have to get diesel gas, which sometimes you got to go to another station down the road, and that will keep you kind of going. All right, scanning through lots of people from everywhere. I'm not going to put everything up. I like to put the kudos up, like this one. My wife and I love your channel. Thank you. I'm sorry, I missed. What happened to the RV? Nothing. Somebody else from Hawaii is going to get it. A guy who bought it's from Hawaii, and he and his wife are going to he's a doctor, and he's going to take a year off and travel the country in it. And he wanted a 4x4, and we offered it. I mean, we offered it to Rotec. Go ahead and sell it.
We were in Arizona, and we said,
so they didn't sell it out from underneath us. I mean, it was our doing. There's just a delay in whatever we're going to get that's like. You guys travel with a pet. Are you concerned about your pet's safety on a hot day when left alone while you're away from your van should your cooling system fail? Yeah, we are. That is a big issue. And
you have a free book about traveling with a pet. I do
have a free book. Here, let's put this up. Pick up that. Can you see that? This is a Traveling with the Dog guide. That's absolutely free. You can download that right now. Just go there. It's an instant download. And we talk about the solution that we use. And we monitor the temperature in the RV all the time when Bo is with us, and if we're going out to dinner, we're touring a museum or something, and we put a sign up that says temperature is being monitored. You can tell the story about that in a moment, but there's a link in that book about that. All the questions people have with traveling with a dog. That's why we put it together. We get a lot of questions, so we just put it. It's free, at no charge. Just go.
And there are a lot of states that you can't leave your pet, even with the air conditioning now. They will break the windows and rescue your pet.
Yep.
And we were at the Georgia Infantry Museum, and luckily, the person at the gate, you showed him our monitor for Bo and everything, and we were in there an hour, and then I left to go be with Bo because an hour was long enough to leave him, and you still had work to do. And they told us that somebody wanted to rescue Bo, so we were extremely thrilled that they didn't break our windows.
And Bo was just sitting there, having a good time.
Yeah, and there's
temperature was great.
Little sign.
But always, even though you're monitoring it, be aware that there may be a law against it, or that other people may not see that sign.
They won't see your sign, and they'll rescue your pet.
I'll leave that up for a second more, but that's a free download, and you can read that right there.
He is looking for trouble.
Yeah, he is. That's pretty funny. Let's see here. We have a quick note that came out, Genji. So is it a road trek or leisure travel? Oh, our next one, it's a road trek or,
No, it's a road trek.
It's a road trek. No, we love leisure travel. They're great.
We love leisure travel. Yep. We love a lot of the different brands out there, but it'll be a road trek.
Yeah, we are their brand ambassadors.
That's right.
Brenda says from Dallas, Texas, went to Magnolia in Waco recently, met some folks from Michigan. We've got a video up, Brenda, on that, and somebody in their Class C 45-footer. Waco's an amazing town. I didn't want to go there, but I had a great time.
He gave me such grief about going there, and I told him he was going to like it.
You were there shopping all that girly stuff there.
I didn't shop much.
No,
it was too crowded.
But I went to the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame and Museum.
That was fun.
That was fun. And they've got a great downtown. Mm-hmm. So lots of people. It's lots of RV parks around the way. So, all right. So let's see. There's somebody that got the book, Allentown Gal, and it's so informative. Can't wait till I get my RV. Well, thank you, Allentown Gal. We appreciate that. That'd be our Boondocking book, I think. So, all right, got to wind it down here pretty quick because I promised Jennifer we wouldn't do an hour. When we do an hour, it gets too long. So, let's see if I can. I'm looking at some quick questions. No red tide in Naples in Florida, says Mary.
Good.
That's where you had it down that way, or it started Sarasota, I think. Yeah, there's some up in at least there was earlier this week. They said it wasn't bad, but you might cough a little bit on the Emerald Coast. I don't know if the hurricane caused some of that or what happened. So I get this question. Can you tell us about your PC mic business? I don't have a PC mic business. Sorry, don't have a business. I do technology reports for NBC television stations around the country, and I have the PCmic.com website. And you can go and read about whatever I do on NBC. I put a link to the stuff I show, but it's not a business. It's just that's just my tech.
Well, you used to have a call-in show at a local.
Actually,
Detroit.
I did a podcast once for a while, but it was just too. This is my favorite one.
A radio show.
I did a radio show, and then I had a podcast and then a PC Mic podcast, but it was just too hard to do two podcasts at once, so I killed that, but. I do still have the PCmic.com website, and that just is a link to the stories that I have done on my NBC station. So hopefully that will help you out. TPMS advice, brand, etc. That stands for Tire Pressure Monitoring System. I don't have one. Have never put one in any of our RVs. I try to check the tires. There are a whole bunch of them out there, but I have no recommendations, Linda.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, they are. They're a little more tricky with dualies because of the longer stems, and it's hard to get in there. So I haven't done them, but they certainly can do it. Linda says, "Is it okay for e-bikes to get wet with rain when mounted?"
I wouldn't like it.
Well, I take the battery out, and then I take electrical tape and I tape it over the connectors for the battery, and that kind of keeps them dry while we're driving. I see other people, they buy inexpensive, like a motorcycle. That's what I have, a little motorcycle rain cover, and you can wrap that around the back of them and keep them that way. That's probably the best way to go, because there are a lot. You don't
want the salt and
you don't want that if you can. So that's a lot. Juan points out that tour he was checking out was $5,000 a person.
Woo!
In your own. Too much for me, Juan. I would not be doing it.
Geez, they're going to do some of the driving for you?
Yeah. Bill McLaughlin, hi from the Blue Ridge Parkway in our Unity Mercedes-Benz B Plus from Leisure Travel Van. That's a beautiful rig.
Beautiful unit.
You got that nice, comfortable bed in that Unity van, Bill. It's really nice. Bob Jones, I like the look of the Coachman CrossFit, but not any reviews about how well or bad they are. Any thoughts? Yeah, it is a terrific Class B. I think it's brand new. It's pretty new, so you might not find any. We spent quite a bit of time in Elkhart going through the CrossFit and its companion Galleria L3, I think it was. And they are just a really, really nice unit. So we've not been driven one or spent any time in them, but we came away very impressed with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So they're nice-looking units, Bob. And I love, we got a chance to meet with Nick, who's the product manager, and he explained a lot of the stuff, the lithium battery setup, how they have it, and some of the extra insulation they do. They even insulate the wheel wells, if I remember right, and keeps out road noise. They have what I really liked is that the one that had the beds that came up? The articulating beds?
Get the beds.
Two single beds, they kind of like that with a space, and you could move one up, down, like a chaise lounge, or they were really nice looking mattress. They had great. I got seduced by the office area where you turn the driver's seat around and you could Anyway,
he had several options.
But we've not spent any time in.
We have not camped in them.
And the second, I had somebody today, that guy that we met at church was looking at that and really liked it, and we said the same thing. We were
a lot of beautiful units out there.
Very impressed with it. So, yeah, there are some really great Class Bs. No wonder the Class B market.
I mean, the Class Bs are awesome, and there's a whole bunch of them out there to choose from. And we have our road trek.
Yep, it's good. Salvatore likes how the leisure travel has a Murphy bed. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know if I've never slept on a Murphy bed, but they have lots of extra room.
A lot of people,
with that.
A lot of people like them.
Really good.
And it was an Airstream Murphy bed, wasn't it? That was so easy. It was just like one finger.
Oh yeah, the Airstream had which model was that?
They were showing us how easy it was. I mean, it was no tugging and.
I can't remember which model of the new Airstream had that, but they had a Murphy bed as well. So that Murphy bed idea is catching on. Mm-hmm. Mark Hopkins finalizing the purchase next month of our new Road Trek Agile, ordered a year ago. Any ideas to give a customer for the closing process at the RV dealer? Great question. Hey, Mark, I see that picture of the dog. That's our friend Hutch. Mark is from California, and we've met Mark at
Arizona.
At some meet and greets we did in Arizona and in California. Well, great. I hope you get it, Mark, and that is pretty exciting. So for the closing process, first thing I would say is video it. When you go through it, your dealer will give you a walkthrough, and they explain how everything works. And it's real simple for you to go through. You can figure all of that out, but you'll get all that information at once, and it can be kind of overwhelming. So I always would suggest that, hey, do you mind if I video this? And that way, how do you do that? You can go back and look at your video. Take notes. And take as much time
Maybe
as you
should have
want.
a friend do the videoing, and you can take notes.
Yeah, if you can get somebody to go with you, and you can, because when you trust it, I do the videoing all the time of our stuff, and it's really hard to focus on what somebody's saying, to get the video, to get what they're showing you. If you can take a friend that does the videoing, and then you can actually ask the questions and take notes. But just take as much time.
Have them stop and slow down, and don't let them rush you.
Don't let them rush you. Sometimes they... it should take an hour or two at least for you to go through that and be comfortable with how everything works.
Can I tell them we got a new car? And it was the end of the month, and they didn't have time to explain how the new car worked. So we came home, and we opened up the hatchback in the back, and it hit the garage door, and then we had to have the garage door serviced. And it was just, we scratched up the brand new car.
Yeah.
So make them take time to show you, because this can't be that hard to figure out how this car works. We needed a demo.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Mountain prepper for life. No red tide in Miami or Fort Lauderdale.
Good.
Come on down. Yeah, well, you guys are on the East Coast, so there never was, I don't think, any red tide over there. But absolutely, this is...
Do they get it on the East Coast too?
No,
is this the Gulf side thing?
Gulf and some of the inland rivers and stuff. But it was around Sarasota, and that, I think it started about there. Sarasota down a little bit, maybe up. But now it's up in the Emerald Coast. At least it was this week. And,
for people with allergies, you can't breathe. It just is nasty.
I want to do a pitch for Florida. This is a great time to go RVing in Florida. The snowbirds haven't all gotten there yet. They come and they book up most of those parks. But if you can camp in October or even November, most of the snowbirds, most of them. Now, there's some that come down right about Halloween. That's the first wave. But most of them don't come down until after Thanksgiving or Christmas. So you've got some great weather in Florida at this time of year. And you can really
some great hurricanes too.
You can have a great time. Let's see. We got lots of questions here. Let's see. Salvatore has a Murphy bed in his Sonic travel trailer. Saves space, then it turns into a couch. I'd love to see that, Salvatore. I'll have to look that up. A Sonic travel trailer. Those Murphy beds are really popular. They really are. And Bill says... I have a Murphy bed. It's great. Raising it is a cinch, and that's pretty good. Thank you, Linda, who liked our Kansas video, and Bob Jones, Key West is crystal clear today. Well, on that note, Bob, we are going to knock off this video at about 50 minutes. I want to thank you guys for being with us again, and we've got a couple of things. Let's see. I want to remind you, newsletter tomorrow that comes out on we've got a tip. I forget what the tip is. We got a video tip coming out on this channel on Tuesday. Wednesday on the podcast, we talk all about winterizing. We get a million winterizing questions. We put them all together. We've got an interview. We got links to a bunch of stuff that you can find out there, and you'll have a great time with all of those. So please enjoy that, and it's going to be fun. And then Thursday is our video on that place, which is Algonquin Provincial Park in Canada, where right now is peak color time.
Should you turn off the picture and let them see the green screen?
Okay, so I've ordered a real screen, and we're gonna have fun with it. I can put some video behind there. We can kind of talk and show stuff. But let me turn off the green screen.
Just like television.
Just like television. I mean, it looks like we're there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
1, 2.
Boom. There's the green screen. Is that cool or what? I like that. So you can have stuff, and I'm not going to do that. But anyway, that's our green screen. So it's better than just a blank wall. There's our green screen. It reminds me of when I was in TV, and I did some anchoring, and at one point they had me do, the weather guy got called in sick or whatever it was, and I had to do a weather forecast. So, you stand up, and you're like this. This is all that you see when you're doing it on TV. But
and then everything's the opposite.
But it's all the opposite. Like right now, this is my right hand, but it shows to me, because I'm looking at it backwards, on my left side. So like if I want to point to the subscribe button, I would go like that, thinking I'm pointing down on my right, but actually I have to go like that. Anyway, so it's completely different. And I had the weather going everywhere. And they finally says, Wendland, stick with news. So I stuck with news and said goodbye to the green screen. With that, we say goodbye to you. We're going to take Bo for a walk. Thank you guys so much for being with you. We love you very much. Have a great time out there.
See you next week.
And we'll see you out there on the open road.
And what are we going to put up next week?
What are we going to put up next week? Oh, next week we're going to put up Halloween campground stuff.
Okay.
We'll have some fun. Go camping if you can this in October. The parks, the campgrounds are really cool right now this time of year with all the Halloween decorations. And we'll put up some of those next week. We'll show you what we found and share some stuff from there. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy trails.